So it started with a love of listening to soul while his mum cooked the Sunday dinner. Now, Tony Hadley has gone back to one of his earliest inspirations to release his first swing album.
It comes as the former Spandau Ballet frontman embarks on a UK tour alongside an 8-piece brass ensemble. Take a look at him, feeling good.
Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, well, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. So, but no,
Sounds marvellous. He's in good shape with us. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm hobbling around. I'm doing okay. It's all repairing, which is
Because
good.
you had a bad fall.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then...
so fractured the patella in a couple of places, ripped off the tendons. And I was doing really, really well, and then got some sort of kind of infection, which was, so 4 weeks ago they had opened it up again and cleaned me all out, and I'm doing really, really well.
Well, that's good. So how does it work in relation to the to performing?
Well, it's quite good because we're on a swing tour, so a lot of the songs lend themselves to kind of sitting on a stool and crooning away sort of thing. So it sort of works quite well. So, and the stronger I'm getting, the more I'm standing up for the odd song here and there. And yeah, it's gone really, really well. People seem to have embraced that whole swing thing, which is cool.
How does the old diaphragm... Not old, sorry. How does your diaphragm go?
It's quite old.
No, I didn't mean it like that. It was a turn of phrase. Unfortunate. How does your diaphragm cope? Because you really, you know, in order to fill your lungs, in order to project and use your diaphragm well, sometimes it is better to be standing. Have you adapted
It
to
is,
sitting?
although I think if you've had enough training and stuff, I can sit on a stool and still hit all the notes and hold them and everything else, so I don't have to stand. And also, especially with some of the songs, they're kind of they're sort of quite laid back, and you can really croon them, which is nice.
How's your voice changed since you first started singing?
I've not had to drop any of the keys, which is fantastic. And I had a guy a couple of years ago, an orchestral guy, and he's come up to me and he said, they're in the original keys. This was in Holland. So I was working with an orchestra. He said, they're in the original keys. And I said, yeah, I still sing in the original keys. He said, but you're very old.
Oh, no.
Ouch. Well, I nearly punched him. And, you know, I mean, so I'm still very, very lucky. I think I've got more, there's more kind of scope and depth and everything. I mean, I can still sing really, really high, but with this kind of croonery kind of thing, I can sort of do the kind of low stuff as well, which is lovely for me, really cool.
Did you do that when your mum was doing the Sunday roast and playing this? Did you kind of sing along, and did she say, "Oh, you've got a lovely
before you
voice
pick Grandad up from the pub"? Yeah, well, they would play. I mean, you know, I'm saying to people at the audience, I said, you know, hopefully this is bringing back memories of your childhood, the same as it is for me, because my mum and dad were mad Sinatra, Jack Jones, Tony Bennett, you know, sort of Sammy Davis, and so they would play that music on the run up to Sunday lunch. And it was my mum and dad who said, look, you know, we know you love the Pistols and the Clash and Queen and Roxy and everything else, but just listen to these guys a bit more intently if you want to be a singer. So I did, and then not long after that, when I was about 18, I took 2 years of singing lessons with an opera singer called Pamela Dodds, Canadian lady, who was absolutely fantastic. So the exercises I do all these years on are still the same vocal exercises I did back then.
I guess you kind of analyse your voice a bit more as you get older, maybe. And you mentioned opera singer there.
Yeah.
Do you kind of compare it? I'm not saying better or worse. I'm just saying, do you sort of think about how different voices are more now, and think about how you are relative to other things? I mean, would you, for example, or have you? Have you done opera? Have you sung?
It's a whole different ballgame.
Well, of course it is.
I mean, you know, people sort of think that you go, oh, and they go, oh, that's opera.
Yeah.
It's not opera. Opera, you've got to go to conservatoire. You have to study the language, the meaning. There's a technique there which I can do a bit of, but it's like 5 or 6 years learning process.
Well, that is such an honest approach, because some people sort of think, well, I can have a go at that. And you're absolutely right. I mean, it's a whole different ballgame, isn't it? Can I ask you, we were at a male grooming salon this morning.
I saw.
Did you see? And they were suggesting a mullet hairstyle. Now, we are not...
That was for you.
I knew. Do you know? I knew you were going to bring.
Well, we are not dissimilar age, you and I.
No.
And I'm thinking in my head, if I'm thinking back to your career, I can't really remember you having much of a different hairstyle. But did you go down that alley in those days?
I did have a mullet. I mean,
Did you?
I was probably more bouffant in those days. And I mean, I mean, everyone had a mullet.
Yes.
And I tell you, it was embracing the mullet.
I thought you were always rather more
well,
neater,
during the true period, because that was the suit period. That was kind of sort of nice hair and stuff like that, quite short. But then when we got
There you go.
here we
Here you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's me when I was very, very young.
So is that pre-mullet?
That's pre-mullet. And then we got into the sort of more flamboyant kind of frilly shirts and ruffles. And that's when we all started to wear mullets. Awful things. Get rid. Don't ever bring them back.
We're seeing one in the foreground.
They are back. They are back with a vengeance. All younger people. They love
loads
mullets.
of sports people, loads of rugby people as well, Australians and stuff. I think, you know.
Is it ruled out completely? Because this is important. We've got to get this sorted. Is it ruled out completely? Tony Hadley?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Are you sure?
Absolutely, 100%. I can't think of anything worse.
All right.
Sorry.
But you're not ruling it out.
Well, I am too, as it happens. But if you've done it, why do you need to do it again?
I'm just looking. You wouldn't look right with it.
Oh, all right. That's a bit harsh. You didn't have to say that.
I'm not being funny. You get to a certain age, and I'm a great believer in growing old reasonably gracefully with a little bit of disgrace. And so, no, mullets are not for me.
Do you know what was nice? Early this morning, we played a little bit of you singing one of these swing songs, and it's just nice. There's something very, very calming about it. There is, isn't there?
Well, it's smooth, isn't it?
It's really smooth. We've got a great collection of songs. We're doing 4 Spandau songs: True Gold, Through the Barricades, and Only When You Leave.
Oh, so you're still doing Spandau songs?
Yeah, only 4 though.
Right.
So we're using the brass section. Barricades we're doing as is. And Paul
Your favourite
Anka,
song, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, that's my favourite song.
It's beautiful.
And Paul Anka did a swing version of True on Rock Swings. And so we do that. The rest is Sinatra, Bennett, Jack Jones, Sammy Davis, Ella Fitzgerald. Really really great songs.
Tell me this, Tony. If someone's in a bar somewhere and they see Tony Hadley standing there and they come up and they would say to you, "Oh, Tony, give us a little bit of something." Would you?
Yeah, I've done it. I've done karaoke. If I don't sing every couple of weeks, you know, performing, I'm sort of like that. I love singing.
Do you wake up and are you like when you're walking around the house with your family? Do you annoy them just by no?
Yeah, I'm always doing it, and my missus is saying, I do this thing where I'll sort of, if I'm going to walk into a room,
well, that would be quite annoying.
That is annoying.
That is annoying.
It would.
It's a bit weird, but I've always got tunes going around in my head, so I'm sometimes waking up in the morning going over the lyrics, and you know, once it's there, it's in your brain, you can't stop. And I'm very lucky to still be doing it after all these years, and this still works, which is great.
Good luck with the tour.
Thank you very much.
Hope that gets better, as I'm sure it will.
And the album's out as well, the vinyl album, which is
The Mood
I'm In.
Yeah, The Mood I'm In, and it's coloured vinyl. Vinyl is back.
What colour is it?
It's orange to reflect part of the double bass that's on the front cover. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's like it was all planned, all thought through. Tony, it was lovely talking to you.
Good to see you. Thank you very much.